clearly no relation to Michelle, right?
No, no, but we did get that often, though. Yeah.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. Just for the Rodriguez part, I guess.
Right. Yeah. It's probably a good thing because Michelle could beat your ass, right?
Probably. Yeah, probably.
It seems like every couple of years people want to destroy Los Angeles.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure why they, I mean, I actually feel that New York has gotten its fair beatings. I feel like the East Coast has gotten its fair beatings. So I would probably say it's kind of balanced at this point.
That's right. They had Cloverfield.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot. Even Independence Day, D.C. got beat up, and a bunch of East Coast places got beat up.
Yeah. It's kind of a subgenre, the alien invasion flick. What do you think makes this one different?
Coming from the perspective through the military. I think coming through their eyes, through the Marines' eyes, who are our first line of defense when the shit hits the fan. I think it's interesting to see what they see when they first go into action.
Right. And there's obviously a bit of character conflict with you and Aaron Eckhart.
Yeah. And I thought that's one of the things that actually attracted me to the role. I love that this young lieutenant, who actually outranks a staff sergeant, who's a veteran staff sergeant, so who has more experience. You would think he would be the person to kind of call the shots, but this young lieutenant has to call the shots, and he, in the beginning, he thinks this is his moment to kind of prove himself. He's excited, he's ambitious and hungry to get into the field, and I think when he gets out there, he realizes how much he's going to need to rely on his staff sergeant and just his platoon, and it's a shit show.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's one thing when you know who you're fighting and how they operate, but in this instance, against an alien, how do you do that?
You don't know. I think that's the one of the cool parts of this is that you don't know how they operate. You don't know why they're even here. What are they doing here? But you do know that they're just coming to invade and conquer. They're not coming to make peace. So, we always looked at it as, okay, they are the enemy. We don't try to, humanize it or make anything or get specific about it. We kind of just put them in a general box of enemy. We've got to accomplish our mission, and that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
What was it like for you to go through boot camp and shoot some of the combat scenes?
It was, boot camp was incredibly valuable, man. Those 3 weeks are where we became Marines. That's where we were formed. That's where, we kind of got the idea of what it is to be a Marine, to walk, talk like a Marine. We bonded, we became a platoon, I think, during that time. And we had these 3 veteran Marines the entire time who were consultants on the film, kind of watching us and making sure everything we did was Marine-like. I mean, it's very specific how Marines operate, and it's not something they kind of turn on and off. It's something that, they're Marines 24/7. I thought that was kind of interesting, yeah.
What does that mean? The specific way that Marines
Basically, when
operate.
they take off their uniform, that doesn't mean they're not a Marine. They're a Marine still in civilian clothing. The way they eat, the way they talk, the way their posture, everything is done Marine-like, with pride. There's just Staff Sergeant, Sergeant Major Deaver, you can speak to him every day and say, hey, how are you doing today? Every single day his response would be outstanding. I mean, without a doubt. He could have had a death in the family, it'd be outstanding. Yeah. And I was like, wow, that's pretty interesting.
Yes, Did you get banged up a bit?
Everybody did. We all got bumps and bruises. I ended up chipping a tooth. That was probably the worst of it. But I definitely my knees, elbows, backs. We were physically, it was just tough. It was tough. We were in Louisiana in the heat with 40 pounds of gear on. But listen, compared to what our actual soldiers go through, their gear is a lot heavier than ours. It gave me a newfound appreciation for what they're doing.
Yeah, and theirs isn't make-believe.
And they're exactly.